Welcome back. You're still watching Business Morning, the Monday edition of the program on Channels Television, and we're broadcasting live from Lagos, Nigeria. Our conversation on the program today is revolving around the information technology world, and we're looking at the recent move by Microsoft to actually end Windows XP operating system. But just before we continue that conversation, as you know, this morning there was an explosion at the Nyanya Park in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, and officials of the NSCDC actually suspect it was a bomb, and so that area has actually been cordoned off, even though we know that some curious onlookers are still going to try to find their way there. But as much as possible, please stay out of the way of officials to allow them to do their job. There's a high casualty, let me just put it that way, but no figure has actually been announced. But if you are there, and you can send your eyewitness reports on all pictures on the Abuja bomb blast, you can log on to our channel's eyewitness feature on any of your mobile devices, especially if it's a smartphone. It could be an Android, it could be an iOS or Windows 8, and because Channel's eyewitness feature is actually on all of those platforms, so you can just tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to actually share your report, pictures or videos. As we know, it is a developing story, and so we're going to keep our eye closely on it. But of course, you can follow up on it on our website, channelstv.com. And so let's continue with our conversation, which is on the removing of the Windows XP operating system. And I have here with me, still in the studio, two computer analysts and IT professionals, both of them Sheyi. So I always have to be very careful. So it's Sheyi Olaleye and Olusheyi Oshifalojo. They are both here with me in the studios. Thank you so much for sticking around.
You're welcome.
Well, just before we went on that quick break to catch our breath, I asked if the challenge, for instance, now of moving to a modern operating system, which both of you have actually, highlighted for both banks, individuals, small businesses, and even government who are using this so popular, but now almost now extinct Windows Windows XP operating system. Could they probably begin to toy with the idea of using cloud computing? Because that's coming in a lot these days. A lot of people have been advertising how you can use cloud computing to reduce the amount of... Exactly. So can they begin to toy with that idea?
Well, I wouldn't want to possibly add the fact that Windows is actually removing support from XP and begin to compare that with cloud computing. Cloud computing is an emerging technology that actually helped reduce administrative costs, basically, and also, yes, administrative costs basically for SMEs. You get right. So I really don't, because if you're still going to use cloud computing to possibly do some of your do competition on maybe on your mobile phone, maybe on your iPad, maybe on your system, you still have to protect. And that system, the system must be running an operating system.
Yeah, but so if you're doing cloud computing, it's somebody else that is carrying your data and storing it for you. So you don't really have to worry yourself about securing...
What I would like to say, it's this. For any cloud computing vendor or service providers, there are compliances that protect the management of customers' information or clients, so to speak. So I would like to clarify something here. Cloud computing is a technology that allows maybe your client to connect to a remote system and use that system as pay as you go, so to speak. It's what we call the service software as a service model. It simply means that you log into it and make use of the service, basically. That's what it means. Now, if we're going to bring that home to what we're discussing right now, for small businesses, they can leverage on cloud computing to reduce administrative costs. But that doesn't mean that...
The risk are not there.
Exactly, yes.
But how can you begin to minimize that risk?
Well, basically, for small businesses, they can actually adopt a iPad devices in their company without possibly buying Windows operating system. You understand? That saves cost of hardware maintenance and some other hidden costs.
Mr. Oshifalojo, you want to let me take you up because small businesses how much is it that they are, are they making for them to go and buy an iPad? And you know that these days, these devices don't come cheap.
Exactly.
Whether an iPad 1 or iPad 2 or whichever one it is you want to buy.
They don't come cheap.
At all.
And apart from the price, the cost of subscription for data is prohibitive. And if I will say, here I disagree with Sheyi, cloud technology as we know it now cannot help us in this situation. To a large extent, I agree with him. Cloud technology does not offer the protection we seek in this case against the old age of Windows XP. I would say when you connect a computer to an internet or any device for that matter, it's like a bulb lit. Everybody sees you. It has nothing to do with what that bulb is doing. But while it's lit, everybody sees you. Now, the operating system is what carry all those things. Is what manages the resource on the computer, the connectivity and everything. So cloud computing does not really offer any protection in this case. It may bring down costs of operation. Somebody else is taking care of your database. Somebody is taking care of your backup and disaster recovery. Somebody else is taking care of applications. That's fine. But that does not protect your local computer from infection or from all the attack that we are discussing. Now, we will now look at security of data, for example. There are some businesses that you simply can't put your data on the internet. You have to have custody of your data. I will use banks, for example. Many banks will not be comfortable with the idea of their data residing somewhere else that they have no control over because of the sensitive nature of the content of the data. And then we look at our infrastructure here. We all know how it is. How many times can you are on the internet and then it breaks off? You are downloading something, it breaks and resumes all over again. The infrastructure we have around here simply cannot support that model effectively for now. So it's really not the way to go for small businesses.
So what is the way to go for small businesses?
I will still tell them, for now, protect yourself better. The best solution is to upgrade, just like he said. But now you can't upgrade.
Because it's too expensive.
You have to protect yourself the best you can. Get your computer, your antivirus. Now, there are many antiviruses out there. Now, you need to consult, just like he said, in just choosing antivirus. You need to consider the features. Does it have a good firewall? There's something we call host intrusion protection system. Yeah. Does it have all those? If it has all those, keep it up to date. There is a reasonable fear of a level of protection. It's not absolute, but there is reasonable protection in that. Then all those careless acts, like I said, anybody just plugging in anything, those are the means.
When you say anything, we're talking about
flash drives
or hard
drives. Flash drives, removable hard disks, and all those things. Yeah. Or your Blackberries, your Samsung, your iPads. Yeah. Just plug them to any phone or to any system. Yeah. Now they need to be more careful what gets plugged to their computer, because in reality, we have to fix the fact. A small business that has 5 employees working with him, his priority will now be to keep his business running, pay his employees. His priority will not be to change the system that is working. He knows he can't run away from it. It has reached end of life. There is no escape. Microsoft is not going to change its mind. It's dead. Everybody knows. But while you save towards getting it either replaced or upgraded, you still have a business to run.
Okay, well, just so that our viewers know that the banks have actually been working towards that. And so even though they're using the Windows XP operating system, all these things you've actually mentioned, they have actually taken precautions against having hackers, attempt to enter their vaults and get customers' information. But it's just so that small businesses are actually aware of what they should be doing to protect themselves against all of this risk. Because whether it's a small business, whether it's an individual, as long as you use a system that has a Windows XP operating system, you're vulnerable to all of this risk. But you already mentioned the fact that for anybody who's using the Windows XP operating system, what they should do, first and foremost, is to remove the core administrator password and now make it individual. Yes. So could you just also, very quickly, because we're actually running out of time, in about 10 seconds or less, just quickly run us through some other risks or some other measures they should take to prevent themselves against this risk?
They should be careful what they click on the internet going forward. You are browsing, you see a link, and they offer something very good, too good to be true, you are tempted to click on it. You can almost be sure nothing is free out there.
Yeah.
They are phishing you.
Yeah.
Like I said, be careful. Get your machines updated, especially the antivirus. Monitor who comes in. Protect all your accounts with passwords. And that should give you a reasonable level of protection for now.
All right. Thank you so much, Sheyi Olale and Sheyi
Oshifalujo.
Oshifalujo, thank you for coming on so much. Thank you so much for coming on the program this morning. Even though we had to start a little late because of the situation, but thank you for coming in nonetheless. Well, I've been speaking to two consultants, two computer analysts and IT professionals on the recent move by Microsoft to actually end the Windows XP operating system and the implications for businesses, whether banks, small businesses, individuals, or even government. And it's been quite an insightful conversation. Of course, you can follow this program. Of course, send your messages even after the program, and so we can continue this conversation because it definitely doesn't end here. But as you know, we have a developing story. There was an explosion at the Nyanya car park in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, today, and of course, officials, NSCD officials, NEMA, the police, and other authorities are actually there at the site of the explosion, as you see there on your screen. Most commuters, as early as 6:45 a.m., were actually trying to get to work, to the various business points, and that explosion happened. And right now we hear that the casualty figure is really very high. It's not yet confirmed, but as soon as we confirm it, we can bring the report to you. Most of what you're seeing there is not very pleasant. Body parts strewn everywhere. Of course, officials of various authorities, as you can see, they're trying to ensure that the crowd maintains some form of distance from where it all happened. Of course, you can send your reports to our Eyewitness. It's a feature on Channels Television where we can interact with you. So you send your pictures or videos or report to eyewitness.com or download the application. Makes it easier for you to use. Getting all my numbers all jumbled up. But that's the program for today. You can get the rest of most of the story on our website, channelstv.com, or of course follow us for the rest of the day to get more details and updates on this developing story. But that's Business Morning for today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'm Harriet Admiral.